approve or authorize the development of a 10-person task force to evaluate the land use. And the request was that 3 people be appointed from this board, 3 people be appointed from the city council, and then the city council would bring 2 at large to the table, and this board would bring 2 at large to the table. They also did approve the request of this board reviewing all permits that did not meet the requirements that were outlined that was given to us by Craft and Toll. There are 4 or 5 different things that this board would not have to approve. They would be anything under.
Okay. I don't remember.
Yes, and I've got it here. Let me get it pulled up. Okay. They would not be a land use that was see, general recommendations, update zoning map with existing land uses.
Oh, that may not be.
That's not the right one.
I'm sorry.
That's the wrong.
I'm almost there.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I thought
I would have been prepared.
Okay, so the permits, the requests that would not come to planning commission. If they are accessory structures smaller than 12 by 14 or 168 square feet and don't require a permanent foundation, individual plumbing, electrical, mechanical permits for regular maintenance on residential and commercial structures that already have a valid and current occupancy permit, minor renovations to existing structures with less than 50% change to the overall square footage of the original building, and any permit that complies with the current zoning and subdivision regulations as adopted. So any requests outside of that would come before the Planning Commission. And what we talked about at Planning Commission is those,
Anything that made unanimous approval here would just be on the consent agenda for the city council.
but if you guys were split in your decision, then it would be an action or a discussion and action item for the city council then.
I think it's unanimous approval would be consent. Anything else would be action by the council.
Yeah, if you turned it down,
To give the person an opportunity to address the council.
because if there were conditions for whatever, they'd have an opportunity to present conditions and that kind of thing.
But that was what was approved at the last city council city council meeting. There have not been board members appointed from either, obviously, at this point in time. There is the opportunity for the next agenda item for the 3 planning commission members to be appointed from this board. Council would be addressed at their council meeting in December, and maybe even get the 2 at large for the council in December and be able to bring the 2 at large back for the planning commission meeting in December and ready to start in January. I am going to have a teleconference with Mark Seabold on Wednesday of this week to start outlining steps to get going once we've got the commission, the task force in place.
Well, I'll wait till you get to that item.
So, and that's basically all I've got. I don't think there's any action for this one. It's more of an update and discussion. As far as a strategic land use plan, we don't have any action other than that I'm aware of yet.
since it says
Discussion and
Action.
discussion.
and action. Do we just table it then?
Yeah, well, no action is
No
still
action.
action, yeah.
Mhm.
If there's no discussion or anything else that needs to
And
come
I
up.
mean, this would be where if you guys had some things you wanted Joe Don to, address with Craft and Toll, whatever,
Yeah.
Mark Siebold, and direct him to do that.
I mean, it's still early in the process, so I don't really expect a lot, but did want to leave that opportunity out there for you. Okay, yeah, just as a side note, where we don't have, where the board will not have to approve some of those items that, we do still plan on bringing the board a report every month on what has been, what we have approved,
Permit traffic.
and to kind of give you an idea of what's going on and what we're looking at.
Have you had quite a few permits lately, or two?
This, if we, you can go ahead and give them out and discuss it. I mean, during this, it's still part of the plan.
It's just the top pages to cover every month, and then the next ones are monthly breakdowns of what the permits are for.
And if there are other, if you would like to see something different than this,
Well, those are just two copies of the same thing. I didn't want to print off a bunch of copies.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
if you want to see something other than this, please let me know so we can, because we are developing this as we move, as we go down the road.
Page 2. Page 1.
Oh, I'm
We're having
sorry.
trouble with our copies, hold on.
Well, no, March and April.
Bring these, dear.
And May.
I've got a February.
And June.
and a
I need
January.
this.
That one's gonna have a January on
I
it.
have March,
And,
April, May.
Next time, go ahead and kill the trees.
There you go.
November,
I need
December.
there.
Yeah.
Because it's all on
There we
video.
go. One full copy and then one
One,
full copy.
start at March?
And then we just have two of these, is that right? Put that over there so you guys can both look at that one.
You have a full copy?
Yep.
Pass that on down there, Lynn, please.
That was confusing. Thank you, Derek.
Sorry. Yeah, should've just printed it off.
You know it's a special skill to know how to hand out. It really is. How's your training been going okay and everything? You feel comfortable with it now?
I'm more comfortable with the code enforcement than I am with the inspection, but
And he's going this week.
I leave tomorrow for a 3-day code enforcement certification in Oklahoma City.
Let me see.
Wednesday,
Good luck.
Thursday, and Friday.
Looks like you've been busy.
And all of
You see the top of
those 4 exclusions on the permitting, those were the ones that were in the October 26th letter that you guys looked at in the meeting.
Yeah, they were in that letter, that's exactly what Mark Siebold had recommended. And you should have gotten the email, of course, now I know Mary doesn't read her emails, so I did email that out to everybody, once we got it.
I think I saw that.
Okay.
You may have to put the little exclamation point, that says important on her. There you go.
Look for his name.
Is there any comments on that?
Is that format you guys would want, or just play it by ear as you go, or?
I like that. That's
Yeah, this is good.
Okay. Then this is what we'll bring for you, we'll start bringing to you, and then as we grow and as it changes and our needs change, let us know, and we can, because this is something we're developing for this purpose. And there used to be things that we're not showing, we need to make sure you're aware of those. I guess,
Okay.
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Do you have anything else, Kelly, on that item?
Not on that item.
Okay. Discussion, item number 5, discussion and to appoint 3 planning commission members.
The only thing I'd start with is I have talked to 4 city council members, including Mary, and the intent behind the setup of that is where neither body would have a quorum. So from a city council standpoint, I would like to have Mary involved, but I can't appoint Mary, and then you guys appoint 3 more, and still keep
Right.
without you guys having a quorum. So I wanted to let you guys know that, but I do have 3 council members that have agreed to serve on that, and I'm still,
And for the city council, I did verify 5 members make a quorum, 4 do not.
so you could appoint any members that you wanted, and city council wouldn't have a quorum, even if you appointed Mary. But if I appointed Mary, you guys would have a quorum every time that,
So let's appoint Mary.
and then I'm still taking feedback from council members on who the at-large, might.
Yeah, that's harder than you think.
To come up with
come
the
up with
at-large
that
members,
large.
yeah.
From a standpoint of the obligation of this task force, if you will, I can't say that we, either of us, Joe, Don, or I, or even, Mark from Craft and Toll would be able to give a definitive, this is how long it's going to take. And you're going to meet, this many times on such and such a date, or if it's going to be more as information becomes available, well, then we meet and then move forward, or, how it's still kind of up in the air, the when, the where, and the duration of how that body is going to function as a task force. But it does have an end. It's go in there and look at our existing strategic land use plan, fix it to where it needs to be for our community, and then that task force is finished. It will not continue to function after City Council has adopted the new code of ordinance, or the strategic land use plan.
And there could be I would anticipate there would be some public hearings that the task force would have.
Needs to be.
In different areas, to solicit input from all areas of town. But we'll be with the help of Craft and Toll, staff will be helping to guide that task force also. Mark Seabold is one of the experts in the field of strategic land use plans in the state of Oklahoma. So we will rely on him pretty heavily. And like I say, I've got a teleconference with him Wednesday of this week, just kind of start outlining steps that we can start taking in January.
The expectation, though, I think, if at all possible, that at least by your December meeting, you have the 5 people that you intend to designate for that task force identified and approved when you meet in December. The only question I have about a December meeting is that's Christmas Eve, isn't it?
Yeah, I was looking at that. That will be Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't
It'll be
we wouldn't have
24th
held on
of
Christmas
Christmas
Eve anyway.
Yeah.
That's a holiday.
It's not a national holiday, so that is when the meeting
We
is.
would have met on that day.
Just wouldn't have had anybody here.
City
Right.
council.
Yeah, including myself.
City
We
council.
can schedule a meeting a special meeting when this board would like, if you would communicate to me when you have your 2. Or if you want to do all 5 at the same time, if you'll just communicate, we can have that meeting at any time between now and, between now and whenever we decide to have it.
Okay.
48 hours notice.
48 hours.
Yeah, 48 hours notice.
I would defer to the chair.
For members?
Would you like to throw out suggestions, or do you even want to mess with trying to pick 3 tonight? So we've got that done, and then let those 3 try and work on at-large?
My discussion for that would be that I think Charles Morrow should be one because
would
of his
too.
expertise as
Thank
far
you.
as the plot sizes and those kind of things that he's gonna bring to the table that the rest of us don't.
And real estate, I mean,
Mhm.
seeing the market on a regular basis.
I think he expects that as well.
And I think he wants to be.
I think he
part of
wants
it.
to be part
I
of it.
think he wants to be on that also.
And then
So that would be a nomination?
That's my nomination.
Okay, and, okay, we have nominated Charles and Mary, and then who's the third one?
It
chair
can't-
of the committee would be very good, right?
I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, I think I told Kelly I'd do anything he needed me to do when he called, so.
I would move that we nominate Mary Hamilton, Charles Murrow, and Christy Corneely to represent the Planning Commission on the 10-member task force.
I'll second that.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, Brian.
Oh, I'm
second.
sorry,
Brian,
okay.
that's second.
Sorry.
Yes.
No, you're fine.
Adair,
Yes.
Gingrich,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Corneli,
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
I'll communicate with you as we look for the 4 people from the community. That way we just, one of the things I want to make sure we have diversity and representation and so we don't, pick 2 people that would, probably think the same or whatever. Best we can tell.
But I think if any of us have ideas, we need to let Kelly know to help him.
And Christie.
Does anyone have any immediate thoughts on that? I don't.
Just want to thank Mary and Christy for being willing.
Oh, yes.
Before I throw anybody's name out there, I'm going to go back and read last meeting stuff, and I knew I wasn't going to be here, so, because I didn't even read it, because I knew I wasn't going to be here, so,
It was
Mm.
riveting.
and all the attachments. Do what?
It was riveting.
Was it?
Yes.
This meeting always is.
And if you need to call and discuss anything, you have any questions about the last meeting, please don't hesitate, give me a call and we'll
Okay,
try to get any questions answered.
okay. I would have loved to
Sometimes
be
the-
here, but I was in the Caribbean, and that wasn't,
You weren't coming back especially for this?
Gosh, knock off back surgery. Get out of it.
We know where Christie's priorities were lying that month.
always.
But yeah, sometimes the minutes don't capture everything.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's some nuances, and I'll certainly try to answer any questions that
Okay.
we can.
Okay. We don't have any new business on here, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Adair,
Yes.
do we need to take, do I need to take roll call again?
I think so. Okay, there's a motion.
All right, Hamilton,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Gingrich,
Yes.
Corneli.
Yes.